Hey YouTube, it's Team Rocket. Um, Basically, this video doesn't have anything going for it this week. I'm sick, and of course, it's not a Team Rocket video without a camera malfunction, so this is the second go around. Before I actually get into I'm gonna have a deck profile for you guys today. Before I get into it, though, I have to give a shout out to Cake Eater 15. He helped us finish this deck, got us the extra Bubbleman, hooked us up with that. So check out his channel. He's got some cool videos, trade binders and stuff on there, deck profiles, things like that. So make sure you check it out. I'll put a link down here in the bottom somewhere right here. So with that, I'll get to the profile. Basically, it's Bubbleman Turbo with the with the exceeds. Basically, it's an exceed-driven deck. It's got fusions as well, obviously with elemental heroes, but it plays real quick. So you got 3 Bubbleman. Basically, when you get this to your hand, you set the rest of the cards in your hand, special summon some monsters, exceed with them, then you can activate the normal spells that you set, whether they're miracle fusions or whatever, and do work that way. So there's the Bubbleman. Sometimes you'll get the draw 2 effect, not very often, so if you decide to play this deck, don't count on that. It's just kind of an added bonus in case you top deck an E-Call or something. Stratos, as we say at locals, because he's kind of good. So Stratos. 3 alias, beater, light, also works with Gemini Sparks. This is one of the most underrated cards that we currently have. Basically, Thrasher is a cyber dragon that you can search with reinforcement of the army, and you can just summon him and be faced. Your opponent doesn't have to have any monsters on the field. And he's really what set up your plays. I'll kind of go through some of the stuff later, but you can kind of see how that works. You just drop him, and it's really easy to exceed summon or just throw down a 21 beater. And for the spells, 3 duality. You special summon a lot, but you do need to get to some of your key spells and traps just for support or defense, whatever you need. So there's those. Search any of the monsters in the deck. Thrashers with these, elemental heroes with these. Pretty self-explanatory. Like I said, a top deck one of these is pretty much ridiculous. It's +2. You just get Bubbleman, special summon it, draw 2. So for miracle fusions, absolute zeros and shinings all day. Those. Another ridiculous top deck. This deck is very forgiving. If you manage to blow your hand, you can get right back in the game real quick. 3 Gemini Sparks. You can, with the E-Calls, the Rhoda, and the Stratos, you can have Alias in your hand whenever you want it. And it's awesome when you throw down an Alias and attack, and you're just hoping you get Deprisoned, so you can throw down one of these. I've never wanted my monster to get Deprisoned so bad as when you summon an Alias. So those are good. MST and Heavy Storm. I hate Heavy Storm, but it's kind of a combo deck, and you can pull off some really, really big plays, hand out a lot of damage in one turn, so that's why it's in there. Dark Hole, Reborn, staples. Book of Moon, kind of a staple. Super Poly. The other one's side decked because of Dark World and tour guides, insectors. I mean, things that you're not gonna be able to take yet. We don't get the other guy till the Dark Hero till August, so we'll have to wait for that to actually play the other one. For the traps, Brigade, nothing to see here. Torrential, Bottomless, Impulse, Hero Blast. Basically, these are just monster removal because while you can put a lot of damage on the board, it's not usually in high attack form. So you have to keep your opponent from having that Scrap Dragon or something like that on the field. Anything with basically 2,500 attack or more becomes a problem. So you got to prevent your opponent from making monsters that big. Skill Drain. With Thrasher, you can put some pretty big beats down the field, and sometimes against Insectors or something, you got to save yourself from their big plays. So it's just in there as a one of. Starlight Road. With the Bubbleman, you find a lot of times that you'll have to just set your entire hand, even if it's like a Heavy Storm or Dark Hole or something you wouldn't normally set. So you got to be able to protect yourself with the Starlight. Dust Shoot, one of the best cards in the format, also a staple, so that rounds out the deck. 40 cards, really light on the monsters, just 10 monsters, but there's so many ways to search them out, especially with shinings. You can add them back to your hand and whatnot. So basically the big plays I was talking about, they're all monster driven. You special summon Thrasher, just because you don't have any monsters on the field. Then you say normal summon Stratos, and you use Stratos' effect to search for an alias. Or if you're feeling adventurous, you want to get a lot of damage in that turn, search for the Bubbleman. Set your hand, special summon the Bubbleman. So from here, since Thrasher can't attack when you have other monsters on the field, you overlay for Ninja, and then you can detach so the Ninja can attack twice. And then say you set a Miracle Fusion, then you can use the Stratos and the Bubbleman for the Miracle Fusion, and you throw down an absolute 0. So you can see you start throwing down a lot of damage. You got 44 and another 25, so you can really put in some work there. And if they can't get rid of these, that next turn, if you had that alias in your hand or something, you summon that, and that's pretty much game from there. So the plays get really ridiculous real quick. So let me get to the extra deck. I'll just run through this. It's pretty obvious. We don't have a whole lot of options in the TCG for rank 4s. So you basically use the Ninja for damage, Roach for some control, and then this is really your beat stick right here is the Utopias. You'll make Exceeds a lot more often than you make the Synchros, the Fusions. So sometimes you just have to drop this and try to hide a couple turns while you figure out what you're going to do about their Shein or Stardust or whatever. You can't always just suicide. It's not usually the best use of resources. So try to stall with Utopias until you can get to Miracle Fusions or make something bigger. The other cool aspect of these is that you can get your Elemental Heroes to the graveyard without them getting bottomless or removed from play. BLS and stuff like that are a problem. If your stuff gets removed, then you can't use your Miracle Fusions, and it really slows the deck down. But if you Exceed summon and the Exceed gets banished, the materials still go to the graveyard. So sets up your plays that way, especially with Ninja, because you can just summon it and then ditch one right away with that. And then for the Super Poly and Miracle Fusions, the 3 Shining, 2 Absolute 0 with the Bubbleman. You don't run any Fires or Earths, but for Super Poly, those. And then just in case you want to use the Stratos, get over something big. Super Poly target, I have maybe gotten this out once, in my lifetime of this game, but it's just a huge play if you can take a Stardust or something. And then lastly, 1 Stardust, just for if you manage to reborn a tuner or something, also the Starlight Road. I had a caster in here until I decided to go with Starlight Road over Dark Bribe. So Stardust had to get in there. I ran out of space. Other than that, the Exceeds are an interesting mechanic, but they take up a lot of space. There's also would be a Utopia Ray in here if I had one, and then maybe throw in a Mind Control, just because it's funny to take your opponent's Utopia and Exceed with it. So that's pretty much it. That's our Bubbleman Turbo deck. We've been kind of working on it. We've got some new ideas we want to try out here in the next week or so. I'll probably put up another video of my, it's actually a different deck that does the same thing. It just makes rank 4s Exceeds, uses the Elemental Heroes. We'll get that up here. Thanks again to KGear15 for helping us put this together. Really appreciate the Bubbleman. So check him out. Still have the link down here on the bottom over here. So check him out. All right, thanks. Bye.